Hey. I'm your humble host, Phys Ed Music, and this right here, this is Urban Politics, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance after this video, take your little cell phone over to YouTube, like and subscribe, Phys Ed Music, Urban Politics. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to jump right into it just like a car and drive, because there's plenty of delicious and tasty politics to sink our teeth into. I got some new glasses, so please bear with me. Hopefully I can read my own writing. These are good close up, though. You're not good for things far away. They're good for things close up, but maybe that's my eyes that aren't good for things that are far away and only good for things that are close up in my old age, right? All right. This week, we're only going to talk about a few things. I want to talk about Joe Biden, DeSantis, and Trump. And then we're going to talk about my IPAs of the week, because I got a few good IPAs. Both of these IPAs of the week are from Fathead Brewery. Fathead has won awards for their IPAs. These two are really, really good, really, really delicious. So I wanted to go ahead and review them here on the show, let you know about them. Maybe next weekend or through the week, you get in the mood for a good IPA. You want to check one of these out. But before we even get into that, let's talk about the politics, because that's what you're here for. This is Urban Politics. Let's get into the politics of the day. Number one, let's talk about Joe Biden. Joseph Robinette Biden is old. He is old. It's an issue that will not go away. He makes jokes about it. I think there was a dinner for the Black Caucus last night. I've been meaning to look on YouTube and see what he said, but he made some joke there, whatever, about being old. Yeah, man, it is what it is. It's an issue that won't go away. I don't know what else he can do but make jokes about it. He can't do anything about being old. You can't change your age. He can't make himself younger. It just is what it is. I do think this is Joe Biden's time. Unfortunately, his time has come while he is in his 80s. That is not helping him. That does not look good. Now, with all that said, think about it. 74% of Americans say that he's too old. 74% of Americans. Now, some of these people, just like me, will still vote for him because I think he's too old. He's too old. Trump is too old. Every president we've had has been too old except for Barack Obama. I don't know if and maybe Bill Clinton. You know what I'm saying? They weren't so old when they became president, but most presidents we have around here are always, in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, and it's too old. It is too old, but that's how it's typically been around here. I'm sure Joe Biden kind of sits back and is like, now you have a problem with age? Now you all have a problem with old presidents? That's all we've ever had is old white men. When it's this old white man's shot, y'all will have a problem with old white men. I get it, Joe, but it is what it is. And you are old. And that's a concern, right? They talk about putting age limits on elected officials. That's a good idea. If that ever happens, it won't happen now. If that ever happens, it might happen in my son's lifetime or something like that. But that ain't going to happen now. Why? A lot of our lawmakers are old men. Why would they vote for something that makes it to where they're old, couldn't serve at all? They're not going to do that, ladies and gentlemen, so that's not going to happen. It would be nice. It's what America needs. I've even heard people like the likes of Howard Dean and other people say that old people like him, this came out of his mouth, I'm not hating, he said old people like me need to step aside in the Democratic Party and let some of these young people step up. I've talked about it here on the show. We got Cory Booker's. Where you at, bruh? Step up. We got some young, hungry Democrats, but they're not hungry enough because I don't hear them. They need to be stepping up, man. Grab that bully pulpit and say what needs to be said. Make your voice heard. Them people didn't pay all that money to get you on Capitol Hill for you to just sit up there and get a fat paycheck and vote yes or no on issues and not say anything to make their lives better. That's not why you're there, sir. That's not why you're there, ma'am. So we got a whole lot of young Democratic talent. They need to step up. Some of them are trying to. And some of them get silenced by the Democratic Party. That's garbage too. But that's the old guard still trying to keep control of old things. But you know what? My father, who is like 70 and some charm, in his mid-70s, what he tell me? He said, Eddie, progress is a train. And you either jump on it or you're left behind. That's it. You can't stop it. You can either jump on or be left behind. And I say that to some of these aging Democrats. Jump on or be left behind. And there ain't nothing wrong with being left behind. If you don't want to progress, then don't progress. but hand the baton to some of these young progressives who are trying to do something in this stale party that y'all got. Anyway, there's that, right? Finally, luckily, you know what I'm saying? Well, hold on, let's talk about how, even with all that, Mitch McConnell frees it at the mic. This is another thing that this makes people say that we got to put some kind of age limits on these politicians. Mitch McConnell, looking like a deer in headlights. And that ain't cool. But guess what? That's to be expected. That man is old. How old is that guy? Too old to be doing that job that he's doing. So shame on those people in Kentucky who keep on giving him the keys to the kingdom. Shame on them and shame on him for continuing to run. Man, bow out gracefully. Bow out with a little bit of dignity while you still got a teaspoon left, Mr. McConnell. Step down where you still got a teaspoon of dignity left. And you ain't got to look all shell shot next time you're in front of the camera because you're 3,000 years old and you forgot where you're at. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, it doesn't renew people's faith in these aging politicians. A lot of them need to step down. But they don't want to because it's a good job. It's a real good job. The work ain't too hard. The paycheck is huge. And you be on camera. Come on, man. Who don't want that? Right? Right. Anyway, moving on. They're there for the wrong reasons. Let me move on, though. Let's talk about another guy who's in it to win it, but he ain't going to win it. DeSantis, as his lawless adversary Trump calls him, DeSantis, tanking Florida, all in an effort to become president. But somebody needs to tell him the base that you're beholden to, the base whose love you're trying to win over, they love Trump's dirty draws. You will never be their guy. I'm going on record as saying it. I'm going to say it again for all those with ears to hear me. DeSantis will never be president of these United States. Feel what I'm telling you right there. Governor DeSantis of Florida will never be president of these United States. He doesn't have the political prowess. He doesn't have the executive prowess. He is not primetime ready. The man can't give a speech without looking like a bobblehead that's lost his mind. He will never be president, right? But he doesn't mind taking down all of Florida in an effort to try and garner some type of love from that base. Like I said, it is the cult of personality, right? And the personality they've chosen is not yours. I'll get into that. Give me a minute. So here's that. He's continuously trying to impress the MAGA base. He'll never impress them. Trump has captured their hearts. He has these people. They are in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Full stop. Period. You know what I'm saying? End of period, point blank, end of story. Full stop. Trump is their guy. Kicked out the immigrants. Now there's homes that aren't being built. Landscaping is suffering. So they said a lot of industry and stuff in Florida is hurt because he got rid of the immigrants. And everybody knows those immigrants were what was keeping Florida running. Those immigrants are what's keeping America running. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm even sitting there watching TV today talking about this, you know what I'm saying, this migrant crisis, this crisis at the border. Well, a lot of those immigrants are doing all the work that Americans don't want to do. So is it a crisis at the border or what's really going on? You know, but they've been talking about that. They don't want to fix the broken immigration system. I went on record to say it still hasn't changed. Chris Matthews said it best. That might be why his show ain't on MSNBC anymore. One of the reasons. But he's always said that. He said you will never see a solution to the immigration problem because Republicans like the free and cheap labor and Democrats like the votes. And he's right. There it is. Immigrants. That's free and cheap labor, rich people, rich Republicans love that. And it's good votes because a lot of those immigrants are going to be what? They're going to be poor. They're going to be indigent. So they'll probably vote Democrat. And those are some tasty votes, ladies and gentlemen. Tasty votes that the Democratic Party ain't trying to say goodbye to. So there's that. You'll never see that broken system get fixed. It is what it is, right? So there's that. It's crazy enough. Finally, the black or some black Republicans came out against his anti-black history legislation, claiming black people earned skills during slavery that they could use later. If that don't let you know that DeSantis is a raging racist piece of what else would let you know that? This guy had the audacity to hit the mic and say, yeah, Slavery was bad, but some of those slaves picked up skills that they were able to use later on in life. So does that make it all bad? Yes, that makes it all bad, bruh. When somebody has a baby and it gets ripped from them and you know what I'm saying, stolen from them as soon as the baby comes out, yeah, that's all bad. When someone is made to have sex with someone they've never met just so they can make a mulatto baby that'll get sold for more money, yeah, that's bad. See what I'm saying? Anybody talking about skills that they could use later. Yeah, they got some skills. They couldn't use them later because they were black. Just because slavery ended, their blackness didn't end. So anywhere they went, they couldn't get jobs. They couldn't get housing. They couldn't get anything. They couldn't live with dignity because of the color of their skin. And he knows this. He knows this. But here's a guy who exists to whitewash history. You know what I'm saying? Who exists to try and make little white kids think that all this stuff didn't happen. But here's the secret, DeSantis. They know this. They know it happened. And they don't want a whitewashed version of history. They want the real deal, and they search it out. So even as he plays these little games in Florida, you know what I'm saying, trying to say that slaves got something, black people got something out of slavery, these little white kids ain't stupid. They go and they find the truth. They find the truth on TikTok. They find the truth on the internet. They find it at the library. Whatever they can still find at the library, they find it. You know what I'm saying? Anything hidden shall come to light. Anything hidden in the darkness shall come to light. That's in that Bible that you claim to care about, DeSantis. Anyway, moving on. So there's that. I'm glad that these brothers finally stepped up. Something finally made these black walking contradictions, these black conservatives step up and say something. Thank you. Trump being racist wasn't enough. Trump being misogynistic wasn't enough. Trump being convicted of rape wasn't enough. Now, DeSantis has come after black history, and some of you snoot booty Negroes, yeah, have to come out from under your rock and say something about that, because that just ain't right. Whatever. I'm glad something lit a fire up under these Tim Scotts and these other just plastic Negroes who run around in nice ties and suits and talk that conservative garbage like that party gives a damn about you or your community or people who look like you or any of that. I'm glad like that some of those feckless lame wads, right? There's some of those feckless subs, because that's what they are. They subs. That's what they are. These guys are subs. I'm glad some of these subs developed a backbone and finally stepped up and said, hey, DeSantis, don't be trying to erase black history, because that just ain't cool. So there you go. Some of that. But I'm glad something did it. I'm glad something made these guys grow a backbone for 10 minutes. So let's hope that they keep that posture going. I doubt it, because those guys are all about the money too. And they know that people who look like me usually tend to get a whole lot of money when they tell other people who look like me to get over slavery and all that other garbage that these idiots kick. Anyway, moving on to my last dude to talk about, the Trumpster. Let's get into it, man. The Trumpster. He's also old. Old as dirt. No one ever talks about that. Well, only time they talk about Trump being old is when they're like, that's why he's not appropriate to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? What does it behoove this country to have an aging ex-president sitting in jail? Well, we won't have an aging ex-president sitting in jail. I mean, he is an ex-president, but we'll have an aging criminal sitting in jail. The man is a criminal. He has been accused of plenty of offenses. He has been convicted of plenty of offenses. That guy is a criminal. He is a predicate felon, like any other brother that you ever see on the streets, and they throw that title at him. You're a predicate felon. Judge says, I keep seeing you in my courtroom. I keep seeing you committing crimes. So you're a predicate felon. Look that up, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what Trump is. He's a predicate felon. You know, that's what Tony Yayo said. When I'm talking, you hearing thoughts of a predicate felon. Predicate felon. That's what Trump is, right? But even with that said, these people love him. Trump is like Jerry Garcia. Jerry Garcia, some people know who I'm talking about. Some people don't. Jerry Garcia was the Grateful Dead. I will get by. The Grateful Dead was a rock group. And they're great. I love the Grateful Dead. I love Touch of Grey. That's the song I was just singing. But this guy had some of the most loyalist followers. There were people who would follow him in a van, right? No money, no nothing. They'd follow this guy in a van. They'd go to all these concerts. They'd sell tie-dye t-shirts and little jewelry to sustain them because they weren't working. They were spending every night at his show, listening to his music, being followers of Jerry Garcia. You know, a friend of mine, Alvin, he said that in a rhyme. He said, "Out, my man, they love." He said they follow us like deadheads. I thought it was the illest verse ever because deadheads, they followed Jerry Garcia till the man passed away. He still got some righteous followers out there. But Trump is the same way. These MAGA idiots, they're turned on by him, and nothing will change that. Nothing will change that. It's the cult of personality, and the personality is Trump's personality. That's it. Once again, full stop. We're done. Done deal. So I would say to any Democrat out there with ears, please listen to me when I say, do not waste your time on these people. Please do not waste your time going into MAGA country trying to get votes. You're not going to get them. Once again, the MAGA nation is a cult of personality. The personality they have chosen is Trump. That's it. Leave those people alone. Some of them are your uncles. Some of them are your aunts. Some of them might be your grandma. Some of them might be your mothers. Some of them might be friends. We got some young conservatives out there. We got some young neo-Nazis. We got some young anti-Semites out there. Young people. Some of these might be friends you grew up with. Leave them alone. They are sold. They are, or shall I say, they're bought. They're bought. Game over. They're Trump followers. They are MAGites. You know what I'm saying? They are they're involved with that cult of personality, which is the MAGA nation, which is Trumpism. That's it. That's it. Now, with that said, that's still your family. That's still your friends. Still love them. They're still a human being. But know that they're involved with a gang that they're never leaving. And some of them give money and give time and get wrapped up in stuff behind that gang. And some of them go out here and hurt other people or sometimes hurt themselves because of their involvement with this MAGA gang. But that's not going anywhere. That MAGA gang, that MAGA cult, it's a mainstay. Trump has these people and he'll never let them go. So that is what it is. Please don't waste your time on these people, man. These people, you know what I'm saying? The MAGA nation loves Trump's dirty draws. They love him. They love him. And nothing will ever change that. So you's a fool. If you call yourself a Democrat or an independent and you trying to, you know, talk some sense to a MAGite, you know, talk some sense to you know what I'm saying, one of the members of the MAGA nation. It's not going to happen. They're involved in that cult of personality. And the cult or the personality is Trump's. So that's it, right? So with that said, I think I'm done, ladies and gentlemen, with the politics piece. Yep. Let's get on to our IPAs of the week. Now, this one right here is a stealth attack of hops. That's what they say here. This Alpha Ambush IPA from Fathead Brewery. I love Fathead Brewery. They got some of the best IPAs you'll ever have in your life. They've won awards. You know what I'm saying, for some of their IPAs. This is a good one. This Alpha Ambush. And it is an ambush. This guy creeps up on you. It's strong. It's tasty. It's delicious. It says pour slowly, of course. I'm sitting here trying to find here we go. 7.5% alcohol by volume. It's 7.5%. Can you see that? It's good. It's nice and strong. So you have one of these and it will set your night off. Got a little bit of money in your pocket. You want to taste a delicious IPA, run out and get you an Alpha Ambush IPA from Fathead Brewery, a brewery known for making great IPAs. Here's another one that they got. I had never seen this. I really like this. It says, smells like green spirit. First of all, I'm a huge Nirvana fan, huge Kurt Cobain fan, huge Nirvana fan. Smells like green spirit, smells like teen spirit. I love how they getting all punny with it, and puns are funny. Puns are punny. So I like a good pun. And this right here is Green Grunge IPA. Green Grunge IPA. So, you know, you let your imagination run wild and you're talking about Green Grunge. You already know this is a good IPA. Pretty tasty indeed. I'm looking here. What was the it's got Matt, Chris, Glenn. It's got these guys' names, so I imagine that they had something to do with the making of this. Matt, Chris, and Glenn. Chill out, man. Have a beer. This is good, man. Fathead Brewery. Like I said, they make great IPAs. This is a real good one, this Green Grunge. I'm trying to find out what is the alcohol content of it. It doesn't say it right. Oh, here we go. 6.5%. Okay. Okay, so it's 1% less than this other one. 6.5, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Once again, here's another one. When you taste it, you don't feel like a 6.5. That's more than what you usually get from a beer, that 5.0. And right now, I'm sipping on my favorite right here in a glass, Juice Force. You know, but that's by not by Fathead, but that's by the other cats that I like. Oh my goodness, I reviewed them last week. I think it is. I can't remember that. I can't remember the brewer company right now to make a Juice Force, but one of my favorite IPAs. Give me a minute. Delicious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. I'm Fizzhead Music. This is Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance after this video, take your little cell phone over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Fizzhead Music, Urban Politics. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, see you around like a donut.